what's going on, guys? This is the Average American Guy here, and today we're going to be talking about my crepe myrtles. So I got 4 of them on my property. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're not looking so good right now. So I got some aphids, I got some other mold that's growing on the leaves, so I'm going to show you how we take care of that. So hold on real quick. All right, guys. Hey, how you doing? This is my backyard. This is my enclosed patio we got going on here. So I just want to talk a little bit about the products that I have in front of you, and how they're working, and how to use them to control this problem that we're having with aphids and white flies on the crepe myrtles. So I do have 3 different things that you can use to remove the bugs from the crepe myrtles, starting with the least harmful to the environment, working up to the ones that are the most harmful to the environment. Now, all 3 of these, they aren't very harmful for the environment, but you definitely want to start off on a lower end and then work yourself up as the problem continues to evolve. So what I did first is I mixed 3 tablespoons of dial dish soap here, and I mixed it with 1 gallon of water. Okay, so I used a sprayer here. It's just a Roundup sprayer. Of note too, make sure that you keep, if you guys do use Roundup, that's a general weed and grass killer, make sure you have 2 different sprayers, one for your herbicides and your fertilizers that you're using. Keep that separate from your Roundup, because you don't want to spray any type of Roundup on these trees because it will kill them. But the first thing I did is I mixed, like I said, 3 tablespoons of liquid dial soap, and I mixed it with 1 gallon of water, and I sprayed the trees down. Now, it did prevent further growing of the insects and organisms from taking over, but it only lasted about 2 or 3 days. So I had to use the next step up. Another point too, the crepe myrtles, they're an ornamental type of tree. All right, so the bugs, the Japanese beetles, the white flies, the aphids, they really like to attack those ornamental type of trees. So those will be the first ones in your property that you'll see a lot of bugs getting, larvae and that kind of stuff getting repopulated on. So the second product here that we're going to use today is called Neem Oil. So Neem Oil is used for a couple different facets. It's been used by the farming industry for hundreds of years as either insecticide or a fungicide. Okay. So I never really heard of neem oil before I had this problem, and when we first moved down here into Georgia, everyone's of course says, you need to have some crepe myrtles in your yard. So it's my first time having a crepe myrtle. First time really dealing with crepe myrtles. I've always heard that they're pretty hardy. You can do anything to them, you can cut them back, but I'm actually kind of surprised now that we've had these in the yard this year that we've had so many problems with bugs on them. I do have 2 Natchez brands, and I have 2 Muskegee bushes. So those are the types of crepe myrtles that I have. But like I said, they are an ornamental. Okay. So back to neem oil here. Neem oil is, it's an evergreen tree that grows in the sub-Indian continent, and they press the seeds and the leaves to get out what's considered this neem oil. They use it for medicinal purposes. They use it for, like I said, fungicides. They use it for insecticides, and they also use it for, any fungus in the lawns too. So if you're going to use this, you can actually use it on a different dosage level for use in your lawn. If you're going to use this as a fungicide treatment, you're going to want to mix it with 2 tablespoons per 1 gallon of water. If you're going to use it for the insecticide purposes, you need to mix 2 to 4 tablespoons per gallon of water. So we're going to actually do 4 tablespoons just to make sure that we cover our basis with these flies and these aphids, just to make sure they don't reproduce again. So I'm going to break in right now to show you some of the pictures that I had before we started spraying the soap, just how bad this infection was. These are pictures and videos that we took yesterday before we started applying this neem oil to the crepe myrtles, and I just wanted to show you how in-depth this infestation was. So the trees, they're not really blooming. There's no real buds coming out of the top of them, and just look how bad that infestation is. Another point I wanted to make is when aphids and white flies are attacking crepe myrtles, they leave behind a secretion called honeydew. So honeydew also leads to a thing called sooty mold. So sooty mold is a fungus that attacks the leaves, and it prohibits the light from reaching the leaf tips. And when you don't have light entering the leaves, that's going to prohibit photosynthesis from taking place for these plants. So you really see these trees struggling to make it through the summer months. So you'll see in a video that I'm going to release in a couple days, hopefully after this, that the fungicide treats these leaves and clears it up. And I hope these crepe myrtles really start producing flowers. All right, so before we begin here, I wanted to talk about 2 important pieces of information that I found when I was doing my research for neem oil. And I did my research. I looked at the Oregon State There are the University of Oregon's studies that they conducted on this, and I really wanted to know, hey, is neem oil safe for humans? Is it safe for pets? And also, how does it work, right? So forgive me if I'm reading from this, but I want to make sure I get it correctly. So the way neem oil works is it reduces the insect's feeding and acts as a repellent. It also interferes with the hormones of the insect systems, making it harder for the insects to grow and also to reproduce and lay eggs. So that's what we want to do. We want them to stop laying eggs. The other components of neem oil kill the insects by hindering their ability to feed. And finally, I hope we don't have to use this product, but this is the treeicide. It's made by Spectracide. It's also an insecticide that you can use to spray on the trees, and I'll do a video on this down the road if these two products don't work. All right, because I am the average American guy and I probably don't have a tablespoon marker around me, I'm gonna use the old safe method here, where it's about a shot at a time. So a shot at a time is gonna be about 4 tablespoons. I'm gonna do 4 shots. All right, y'all ready? 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 for extra measure. All right, I'm gonna go fill it up here now. All right, so I need 1 gallon of water to mix with my sprayer here. And there is markers on this so I can tell when it's about a gallon. This is a 3-gallon sprayer. All right. There we go. Now we put the top on and let's get to spraying.